Hello, fellow YouTubers. LegoWC Stop Motioner here. Welcome viewers new and old. And today I have Transformers Studio Series Rise of the Beast 101 Leader Class Scourge. Got Bay vs. Optimus Crest. I'm just kidding. It's a cool theory, but I don't think that whole thing is happening. I don't see them doing something like that. But anyway, we got the main antagonist of Rise of the Beast. Got some artwork on the front here. Looks pretty vicious. There he is on the side with his blade. There he is on the back in his robot and vehicle mode. It says attack at the museum. It says Scourge and the Terracons face off against the Autobots in a battle for the transwarp key. They keep mentioning the transwarp key. Not sure what it is, but should be interesting. All right. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get him out. All right. Let's try doing something a little different this time. Pull it out sideways. There he is. Oh, he looks pretty cool. So let's get into it. Okay, so here we have Scourge in his truck mode, and it's not perfect. But aesthetically, I love this thing. I just love the rough look. It's kind of Mad Max-ish. I really like the faction symbols. Like, those are all the Cybertronians he's taken out. Although I didn't see a Wreckers symbol on here, which I guess we're going to see in the movie. Let's see. Yeah, I don't see the Wreckers symbol on here anywhere. Bit of a bummer, but this figure is based on concept art, so oh well. I like the red windows. It just really gives him a more aggressive look. Got nice wheels. The back ones are pinned on. This one is a peg-on, but technically, it's technically a peg-on, I think, unless that's a little pin in there. I'm not 100% sure. It rolls perfectly fine. And he rolls really well. That makes me happy. Now the back is a little rough. You can put the gun on the back here. I don't really mind how that looks too much. He does have visible hands, but they blend in well enough. Got this nice thing on top. It's got these kind of teeth in the front. I'm sorry if I mess up anything I'm saying. Again, I'm not really a truck guy, so I'm not sure what's called that thing. I think these are supposed to be kind of like chain. Yeah, those are chains on the front grille there. There's the Terracon symbol. There's a little bit of mismatching, but once again, something that you don't really, it's not too apparent in normal lighting. I mean, it is visible, but not too bad. Get a light shining on it though, and yeah, it stands out. Still, it could be worse. And these kind of look like scratches on him. Got these on the side. There's his head underneath. So, pretty cool. And then they showed this off in Freezer's instructions. There's tabs that you can slot in right here on Freezer's arm. It'll focus on him. You can slot him into Freezer's arm or the gun. What I like to do, there's a tab right here. You can just plug him in right there. And now Freezer's riding on him. Pretty cool. And then of course here he is with his fellow Terracon Battle Trap. Only ones we don't have yet in Studio Series are Nightbird and Transit, and we don't know a whole lot about Transit yet. There is the mainline Nightbird out there right now. I might get it. We'll see. Yeah, for now, that's the Terracons we have, and they're looking pretty cool. And then you can have him go up against Optimus Prime. Looking forward to seeing these two fight in the movie. It should be cool. And I thought, why not compare him to the Velocitron Scourge? different, but you can see where the inspiration was taken from. And then, of course, here he is on the backdrop. It's the same one as what came with Battle Trap, so this is one I'll be keeping since it's bigger. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. So I think that about covers the truck mode. Now we can move on to the transformation. All right, so to begin, go in and take the gun off the back. Go in and just transform this now. Fold that like that. Rotate this right here. Fold it up. Rotate this here. Fold it down. And it just tabs together. Just like that. All right. Then go ahead and come here. Just grab underneath. Pull this section up. You can go and get the smokestacks out of the way. You can go ahead and untab the front here. Fold this out to the side. I talked about this in a short just last week. How the chest folds out to the side. That's crazy. I still don't think I've seen that before on a mainline transform. I'm sure third-party ones have done it. Go ahead and take this wheel, fold it down, and then there's just a slot right here for this to tab into, like so. Go ahead, fold this down. Then you can fold these up. And go ahead, disconnect these right here. Hold the back down. Go ahead, stretch it out. I don't like that part because this is translucent plastic. That makes me nervous. I've already heard about people getting cracks in it, so just gonna have to be careful with that. Go ahead, disconnect the legs. You want to come right here, untab this part, so then you can free this up, then pull it out to the side, and the shoulders just tab in. Just go ahead, straighten them out. This guy's just taking up more camera space by the second. Okay. You go ahead and do the same on this side. Fold this around, tab it in. Just kind of straighten the shoulders out. Pull the legs out to the side, rotate it. Just bend the knees a little bit. You come right here, fold the toe down, rotate it, and just fold it forward a little bit. And just do the same on this side. Fold the foot forward a little bit. All right, then you want to go ahead, fold these in. They just tab into place. There's a tab right there, goes in right there. You fold this down, then fold this down. You want to go ahead, just accordion this, tab it into the back. Then go ahead, fold the blade out. Just fold it back like that. And just go ahead, push on these right here, collapse the tires. And when you're done, there you have Scourge in his robot mode. Let's fix shoulder. Now he's in his robot mode properly. And the robot mode does suffer a little bit from what I call concept syndrome. He's not completely accurate to the finished product that we've seen in the trailers, like the smokestacks on the back here, the neck. But I don't care that much. He still looks really cool. Head sculpt is nice. I like the silver horns. Got kind of orangish, reddish light piping going there for the eyes. And kind of see teeth in there. The chest looks pretty cool, and you can tell he's a bad guy just by looking at the chest alone. I don't know why, it just kind of has that vibe going. And then he's got these stomach claws that really remind me of Soundwave's design from the War for Cybertron and Fall of Cybertron games. And I guess Rise of the Dark Spark. We gotta mention that game. The game that killed that gameplay style. I'm pretty sour about that. Got silver right here for these pipe things. I assume those are faux parts. Pretty asymmetrical. He's got the chains on this leg, but not on this one. He's got the wheels on the inside of his legs. Back kibble, it is there, but the way I got the legs kind of in the chicken leg position, I feel it still looks fairly even. Then I want to go and talk about his accessories. You can pop this arm off. Then you can take this gun, put it on there. So you can fire that at his enemies. Then you can just tab this part right here into the arm here. It looks kind of silly, but I appreciate that it's there at least. Or the way I'm going to be displaying him, go ahead and just reattach the default arm. Go ahead and just tab this in right here. And he's also got this sword on his arm that you need to kind of position just right. Can push it up in there, close his hand, and now he's wielding this blade. That looks pretty cool. Has some nice sculpted details on it. I like it. So he can use his blade and the gun to go up against Optimus Prime. I assume this is scale accurate. I'm still pretty sure the Studio Series Rise of the Beast Optimus is still just going to be a repaint / remold of this figure. Probably. I'll be surprised if they don't use this mold. It'd also be nice since this figure is kind of rare now. So hopefully they'll use it, even if that means I would have 2 of it in my collection, but I don't care. I love this mold. And of course you can try to recreate the part that we've seen in the trailers where he's attacking Bumblebee. It's a real pain to do, but it is possible. You just got to get it in the right position. And then you can have him wield Freezer. I don't know if we're going to see that in the movie, but still, if you want to do it in figure form, you have the option. So here's all the Terracons we have in Studio Series so far. I am looking forward to Nightbird specifically, just because we're going to have bad guys with some color. We got that in the Bumblebee movie, and I'm glad that's carrying over to this movie. And then here he is with technically his namesake. Obviously the name Scourge, or Scourge, originated from the G1 character, but they definitely drew more inspiration from this guy. Mainly in the truck mode is where I see it. In robot mode, there's some noticeable differences, but there you go. Scourge and Scourge. Now, in terms of its articulation, the head part is on a ball joint, can look up and down, side to side, can look right and left. Then the neck joint is a little problematic, at least on mine. It pops into place. Like, I try to pull it down and just pops back up. I think the ball joint is a little too tight because it came off one time and I had a bit of an issue getting it back on and getting it to stay there. So, yeah, just be on the lookout for that. But it can look down. Oh, it's holding the pose for once. But I think it prefers that position. And right and left. Shoulders are technically designed to do a 360. They are going to collide with the back kibble, but it is there. Can move the shoulder armor, I guess, if you want to count that. Can go up like this. Or, my preference, you can fold it out like this. You have an elbow bend, which goes pretty much right to 90 degrees. You have bicep rotation. You have articulated fingers, at least on this hand. Then on this arm, relatively the same. You have the bicep rotation, 90 degrees. Have an opening and closing hand. And I guess if you want to count it, you have the blade articulation. And you have a waist swivel. Going to remove this. Legs can kick forward that far and back about that far. Can go out to the side. You have a thigh swivel. Knees are ratcheted. They can go back about that far and then forward like that. Again, I just prefer the chicken legs because chicken legs are good. And the feet can go forward that far and back like that. You have ankle pivot, and I guess you want to count it. The toes can go out to the side. I don't know who would use that, but if you got ideas for that, let me know. So articulation, aside from my issue with the neck joint, I think articulation is pretty good on this guy. And there he is once again with the backdrop. So let's see. I covered the vehicle mode, transformation, robot mode, posability, comparisons for both modes. I think that about does it for this figure. So I'll go ahead and stick him on the display. Okay, so there's Scourge with my rebooted movie shelf. I think he looks pretty cool there. So in terms of if I recommend this figure, overall, I would say yes. The truck mode, aesthetically, I just adore it. I just love the Mad Max look of it. It does have some issues though, like the visible hands on the back. Transformation, it's honestly pretty fun, but it is a little scary with the translucent backpack. I don't know, it feels fairly robust, but I have heard stories of people having it crack, so that's definitely a shame. Robot mode, it's not entirely accurate to what we're seeing in the trailers, but I still think it really looks cool, and he has nice posability. So I do recommend this figure. Maybe, I don't know, size-wise and in terms of the engineering, he feels worth the price point, but just with some of the issues he has, maybe wait till he goes down a little bit. Still, I don't think he'll really regret it if he gets this figure. Now, in terms of just overall, the first wave of Rise of the Beast Studio Series figures, which ones do I recommend? The two that I recommend without any sort of, yes, he's good, but there's this issue. The only ones that don't have that are Bumblebee and Cheetor. I really don't have any major issues with them. I can safely recommend them. Battletrap and Scourge, I do recommend them. Just know that they do have some issues. Freezer and RC, they're alright. RC, I still wish was a deluxe. Freezer, he's fine. He exists. But yeah, that's what I think of this figure. But as always, please be sure to comment down below what you think of the figure. And if you like this video, please be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, and God bless.